property investment strategy for beginners. Okay, this is what this video is all about. If you are just a beginner and you want to start investing in the real estate property in Malaysia, so this is the video for you. I call it property investment strategy for beginner. So let's get started. If you are still a newbie and you want to get started in investing in property in Malaysia, you're probably wondering what is the first type of property you should buy. And the answer is very simple. What type of property to start with? I'll say the first type of property to start with should be the residential income properties. And we are going to talk about this more in details. And what type of, there are so many types of residential properties, and what we suggest is you should invest in a single family home. So I will consider this type of home as single family home, like apartment, condominium, low cost flat and terrace houses, whether it's a single story, double story or 3 stories kind of terrace houses. But for appreciation, terrace houses will appreciate more if you compare to apartment like condominium or even low cost flat. But for rental income, the best is the low cost flat and also apartment. But of course, low cost flat, it is not available to everyone unless your income is really low. Then you can buy only one property. Okay, let's get to what is the advantage of why you should invest in single family home. So I'm going to talk about the first reason is because it is very easy to sell. Why is it very easy to sell? You see, if you need to sell it, if you're desperate when you want to sell it, then you can easily sell it. So it gives you high liquidity in this sense. I'll say it has a high liquidity. Of course, if you are going to compare it to stocks or other kind of paper assets, it is not as liquid as that. It is not like you want to sell and you can get money within 1 week or 2. No, it is not in that case. But in this case, you can definitely find a buyer really soon, really early in the stages when you want to sell. And I would say it is among all the other types of properties, this single family home types of properties has a very high liquidity and is easy to sell. The second reason is when you rent this type of single family home, they are being rented to those type of tenant. Basically, I will categorize them as 2 types. The first is those with family. Those are in the family and maybe they have 1 kid or 2 or 3. And then those normally families, people, they are more responsible. And the other type of tenant should be the single working adults and even a group of students. But if you are going to want a really responsible tenants to take care of your property, I would recommend that you rent it to those who are in families. Those couple that are already married and maybe they have one child or 2 children. And the third reason is why single family home is because it is very easy to get financing. Because in Malaysia, you know, the government encourage all the citizens to have their own home. So bank also love to loan money to this type of buyer because they want to buy at least like everyone should buy a roof over their head. So that's why it's very easy to get financing. You can get up to 90% of the loan of the house value, and sometimes you can get even like 100% depending on how you structure it. And the fourth reason is it is very easy to rent out. Why do I say that? Because the market is always there. Everyone needs a roof over their head. So I would say this type of family home, single family home, is very easy. This type of property is very easy to rent out. And I would like to compare this to also compare this type of tenant who always rent house to the type of a patient with diabetes or hypertension, you need to take a regular medicine, like every day. Maybe you need to take one pill or two, and depend on your severity. And those pills may cost you some money, and you need to take it non-stop. It's like you have to take it, always taking it when you start. So in pharmaceutical industry, those companies, those medical company, they love this kind of patients because it is on subscription based. They pay you yearly, they pay you monthly on a regular basis. So it produces income that will be stacking up. And for those tenants who cannot afford to buy a home, that's why they rent. Of course, that's not the only reason, but this is one of the reasons they rent, because they cannot buy a home. And if property market, when the property price is getting over the roof and more people cannot afford a home, they will be forced to rent. And when you are in that kind of situation, probably you will be renting at least like for 1 or 2 years until you can afford your own home. So that's why I'll say you will like to go into single family home, because the demand is always there, and because you can easily get financing. Also, you only need the lowest down payment, so this means also less capital needed to get started to invest in single family home. And the other reason is it also give you, let me pull this up a little bit. It also, why single family home? Because it also has a lot of demand. Okay, I want to show you a little bit of the population statistic in Malaysia. Okay, you can see this is the page on statistic.government.my, the gov.my. So it's a Malaysian population clock. There's a clock over here, and the number of people keep changing. The population keep changing. You see there are 29 million people in Malaysia right now, and it is also based on the assumption that there's one person being born every 58 seconds, about 1 minute, and one death for every 4 minutes and 36 seconds, and one gain on net migration. That means people, immigrant from other country, they're coming into Malaysia every 5 minutes. And of course, the overall increase in population, it will be one person every 56 seconds. And the other statistic I want to show you is, you can I would like to show you also the urban population, the urbanization statistics. You see 72% of the total population in 2010 is living in the city, and the rate of urbanization, it is still happening. So every year is like more people from rural area, they are moving into the city area. So if you're buying a home in a growing town, definitely the demand will be there. Let me get back to my map here. And of course, when you buy a house, I would say this is a really good advantage, because if you buy a house and you get into a mortgage plan, and you are forced to pay the mortgage every single month, whether you have the tenant or not. Now, of course, the best case, the ideal case, is to find a tenant to pay that mortgage for you. And this, I would say I like to always compare it to, it is similar to an insurance endowment plan. You see why endowment plans always it is so effective to help people to save money? Because if you're not familiar with this, so let's say you have a child, he is just like 1 year old when he's born, and you want to save a lump sum of money for his education in the future, maybe 18 years or 20 years down the road. So most people, they will at least buy an education insurance plan that force them to save, because it is forced. You are getting forced to save the money, and because if you stop at the middle, you will lose most part of your money in those insurance plans. So I will say that if you invest in property, it also gives you a very enforced kind of saving program. You are forced to pay down the mortgage and you build up your equity, and therefore your net worth will definitely growing over time. Okay, that's enough about why you should buy a single family home as your first investment, and let's talk a little bit about the specification. What we suggest is don't buy two big houses, don't buy bungalow or something, just buy a house with 2 to 4 bedrooms. When you buy 2 bedrooms type of property, it is suitable for 1 to 3 person only, so maybe suitable for new parents with infant with babies, and also for couple or maybe 2 adult friends that each one of them are staying in 1 room. So 2 bedrooms will have, I would say it will have less demand, and the most popular one should be the 3 to 4 bedrooms type of properties. So you can stay for you can accommodate 4 persons or more, and definitely good for medium-sized family like in Malaysia, you know. Let me show you the statistic. I think I saw it over here. In Malaysia, the family size, yeah. So this is total fertility rate. This is a statistic I want to show you. Let's highlight it. This is a statistic I want to show you. So each woman in Malaysia, it is estimated that they give birth to 2.6 children, 2.7 children. So that means like 2 to 3 children. So medium-sized family is normally couples with 2 to 3 children. So they are more suitable to stay in those house or apartment that has 3 to 4 bedrooms. And of course, these type of rooms, this type of house, you can also rent it to a group of friends or colleagues or schoolmates near college and university. And it should have at least 2 or more bathrooms. The more the better. Of course, the more you can rent it out for even higher price. And the ideal size is 1,000 to 1,800 square feet. And if you are renting in, if you are buying a property in really crowded area, like in near KLCC area, you might not be able to afford this kind of size properties. So 800, or I think a minimum should go to 800 or 600, but those are in really crowded city area, city center. And in Malaysia, you know, because of the most public transportations method is not really well planned, it's not really well constructed. So most people have many cars. So if you have more car parks for your properties, more place to park cars, then the better it is. So that's all for this video. If you love what you are seeing, please click the like button or share it in your Facebook account so that your friends will get this type of information. And last but not least, I would invite you to get subscribed to my blog. I have a blog at kclau.com, and the reason why you need to subscribe is that after you subscribe, you are going to get the first chapter of my best-selling book, this Top Money Tips for Malaysians. And you also get exclusive webinar. It is online webinar only announced to my email subscribers only. So when you are in my email list, I do a few seminars every month. So you will get to attend those webinars free of charge and at the comfort of your home. So hope to get connected to you. Bye.